Shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom. Hot one today. On 90, 98 today, 97. Real feel 104 degrees. Feel like 104 out here today. In season, out of season. So yeah, we gonna start it off today. Before we get started, all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles, the brothers, the men at Great Millstone that rule well, that taught me this truth. To the hopeful elect out there, scattered abroad, unlike the to a speckled bird. Tabernacle of King David, 144,000 mighty men. Peace, blessings, salutations, and to the remnant, men, women, children, shalom, right? So this your brother Shapar, man. We out here again. You know what I mean? To bring this word out. Hopefully, draw in the elect, wake up the elect, prophesize the downfall of this place, to point out the things that's showing you that this place is falling. You know what I mean? Even over there in China, China think they got next, right? Because China done surpassed the United States as the top global, the top superpower economy in the world, right? China done passed it, right? Surpassed it, right? But China over there right now going through a housing bubble that's worse over there than what's going on here. Because in China you can, when they sell houses, a person, they start building houses, or they say they're going to start building houses. So they'll make the people, or put 30% down, right? 30% down, and then they borrow 70% from the bank. And then the bank gives it to the developer, and the developer's supposed to build a house. They not building it. So they've been taking money from people that's supposed to got their houses 2 years ago and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So the people over there, they stopped making the payments now. Because the people, they ain't getting the houses, man. So it's like, I think they said 200, almost 300 of these type places, and each place might have 8,000, 10,000 units that's supposed to, so that's almost a million people that's paying for houses that they ain't building no more. And so that's going to make the banks default on loans and stuff. So China's in trouble right now too, man. China, Sri Lanka, Panama, Pakistan, and it's one over in Africa. It's a bunch of countries right now that's going through financial woes, man. Behind money. All behind money too. Let's start off, but the contract though is with Israel, man. So the contract is with Israel, period. So we're gonna start out with that. We're gonna get Exodus first. Exodus 24, and I brought up China to say that China don't got next, man. According to the scriptures, Israel got next, man. So let's get it. Exodus chapter 24 and verse 4. And Moses wrote all the words unto the Lord, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar upon the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. See? So at just about the beginning of Romans, it tells you to the Israelites. The beginning of Deuteronomy to the Israelites. In all of the books, it says to the Israelites, man. But some kind of way, the Israelites got replaced by everybody. Replacement theology. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings to oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in audience of the people And they said, all that the Lord hath said, we will do and be obedient. So this is the agreement, man, that Moses made with the Israelites, man, to the 12 tribes of Israel, man, nobody else, man, or with the 12 tribes of Israel, according to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words. The Lord hath made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moses and Aaron. Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw the power of Israel, and there was under his feet as it were a paved work of a sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand also. They saw power and did eat and drink. And the Lord said unto Moses, come up to me into the mount and be there, and I will give these tablets of stone and a law and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. The children of Israel, man. The children of Israel. What's that? At the end. So we're gonna do the end. We're gonna do the end. The beginning, and now we're gonna get the end. Let's get the end. Let's get the end. I think it's 19. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let's get Revelation 21 and let's start at 1 and jump down. Revelation 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from power out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So this is the Israelites coming down. Watch, a bride adorned for her husband, right? Let's get this one, Matthew 25. Matthew chapter 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. See? Listen again slowly, right? Because we just read that New Jerusalem, heaven is coming down from heaven, the New Jerusalem is coming down, heaven, right? Now watch this. Matthew 25 and 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. See, the Israelites. The Israelites are likened unto 10 brides. Some are smart, some are out here doing the right thing, some are out here not doing the right thing, right? Unwise, but those are Israelites, those are people, right? Let's keep reading a couple more. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept, right? So this is talking about the Israelites out here that got the knowledge. Some got the knowledge, and they doing the right thing with the knowledge, and some got the knowledge and not doing the right thing with the knowledge, right? Now let's go back to it. Revelation 21 and 1, right? So we read the 10 brides likened unto heaven, right? Let's get it. Let's get it again. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, and the first heaven had first Revelation 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from power out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. See? That's talking about that. We just read that in Matthew the 25th chapter. You know what I mean? The 10 virgins for, you know, the 10 virgins as a bride, right? For the new husband. So let's go down though. Where's the point at? What I came in here for. Let's go. (11) 21 and 11. Having the glory of power, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like unto jasper stone, clear and crystal. So we just started out in the book of Exodus. We started out in Exodus the 24th chapter, and we was reading about the agreement that Moses made with the Israelites, right? For the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So now we reading the end. Once the elect is changed and they coming back down on the earth, right? So okay, let's get it, right? And 12, Revelation 21 and 12, and had a great wall and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So if the kingdom of heaven coming down and it's going to be 12 gates for the children of Israel, where is anybody else at in this? Like how Elder Apostle Tahar would say, I could kind of stop the lesson right there. We started off with Moses, with the 12 tribes of Israel, and we ended off with the 12 tribes of Israel. It's not nobody else involved in this, man. Let's read a couple more though. On the east gates, on the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, on the west 3 gates. That's 12. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of 12 apostles of the Lamb. I don't see where there's nobody else involved in this, man. I don't see where there's nobody else involved in this, but we're going to keep getting. Let's get on. Let's start with Galatians. I mean, not Galatians, Romans chapter 14. Let's start there. Let's get there. So to me, at least for me, it's plain to see, man. It's plain upon tables, man. Like I said, man, I've read the Bible many a times and read passages many a times in the past, man. Before I got was awakened to this truth, man. So I read the Bible many times in the past and they make no sense. Now that I understand what's going on and I know who the scriptures is written to, the covenant and all that's going on in it, now it makes sense to me. But Romans chapter 14 verse 5, one man esteemeth one day above another, esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. So you gotta, if you want to get understanding on something and you want to be persuaded in your own mind, you gotta study, man. You gotta study, you gotta pray, and you gotta be listening to the right people, man. You out here listening to these groups that's marching around with guns and all of that shit, marching around, circling around churches and all of this stuff. These people are not in the right spirit, man. They in the spirit for themselves, man, to be seen for themselves, man. It's not. Let's keep getting it. Let's start out in Galatians. Galatians, I keep saying let's start out. We done started, brother. Galatians chapter 3, verse 1. They try to twist. You got vocab giving seminars on how to deal with Israelites and all of that. Come on, man. This nigga ain't teaching the truth. If he had the truth, wouldn't he just be teaching, well, this is the truth, right? No, well, you know, the Israelites, when you're dealing with the one Westers, and they say this, then you do this, the counteract them, and then like he playing the game, man. He not about the truth. Galatians chapter 3, verse 1. O foolish Galatians, who have bewitched you, that you should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Yahushua Hamashiach have been evidently sent forth crucified among you. This only would I learn of you, receive ye the Spirit by the works of the law and by the meaning of faith. Are ye so foolish, having begun in the Spirit, are ye now made perfect by the flesh? Yeah, man. You need the laws, but you also gotta have faith. You gotta believe, man. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. You gotta believe a simple form of belief. You gotta believe when you see daughter of Babylon that you know it's not talking about Babylon in the past, that it's talking about America. When you see daughter of the Chaldeans, that is talking about America. When you read the scriptures and have understanding. When you see Revelation 11 and 8, spiritually Sodom and Egypt, you have to know that common sense would tell you that it's not talking about Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah, but it's talking about a place that's in the spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah and Egypt. That's America. But even that takes faith. Even if you could sit and read it and go, well, wow, you know it's not. You still got to have faith to believe what the Bible is talking about. Because you got to realize back when the Bible was written, America wasn't born yet. I mean, the name America wasn't even born yet. They didn't even come up with the name yet. So they wasn't going to be able to write, in the future, y'all going to be in a place known as America. Scripture's not going to say that, man. 3 and 4. Galatians 3 and 4. Have ye suffered so many things in vain, if it be yet in vain? He therefore that ministereth to you the Spirit and work of miracles among you, doeth he it by the laws of the works of the law, or by the hearing of the faith? Yeah. So if you have if they come over, you sick, and the elders come over, or the brothers come over and anoint you with oil, and they pray for you, is that by the law? That's a miracle that you got better, depending on what ailment you was dealing with or whatever the case may be. If you get better, is it by the law? When you had some brothers that ended up last winter, ended up getting the C virus and getting sick, can reading the law gonna make you better, or is praying to Yahweh Shem Yahushua to heal you? Will that get you better? And then by praying, you gotta have what? Faith that the praying gonna get you better. So you gotta have faith, man. These heads with that, the law, they got no faith, man. Let's keep going. A couple more, then we're gonna jump around. 6. Even as Abraham believed power, and it was accounted of him for righteousness, know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham. And the scripture foreseeing that power would justify the heathen through faith, preached before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, indeed shall all nations be blessed. Yeah, in the kingdom all nations will be blessed, because the earth gonna be in righteousness, man. Right now the earth is not in righteousness, man. All you gotta do is look at Sri Lanka, Look at Pakistan. Look at Ethiopia. Look at Africa. Look at all these nations that's suffering, man. Meanwhile, you had the Rothschilds. I seen a thing the other day where they said the Rothschilds is worth more than the 8 richest billionaires. Just them, they family alone. They richer than the 8 richest billionaires in the world combined. So yeah, so they got all the riches. They could pretty much make the world. They could take care of the whole world. But nah, they not. They not gonna do that. It's not in them to do that. Nah. So then, they which be of faith are blessed with faithful Abraham. Yeah, man. You gotta have faith, man. Let's go Matthew 22 and 29. Let's get that. Matthew chapter 22, verse 29. Yahushua answered and said unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Yahbashem Yahushua. Right? 32. Watch this though. I am the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. Power is not the power of the dead, but of the living. And when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. Yeah, man. The power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, the power of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Jacob, man. That's it, man. Let's get Genesis 12 and 1. Let's get that. Yeah, so today we gonna show you that the contract was only with Israel. And it's also scriptures in here that tell you when it was other nations that was taught by decree of a king, was taught the ways of Israel. And then it's also scriptures, we're gonna get some scriptures in here that show you it was times that Israelites was not even able to follow their own laws and customs. So that's how you could end up with a group like the 1948ers, the small hats over there in Jerusalem right now, confessing that they're Israelites. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Lord had said unto Abraham, Get thee out of the country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Yeah, so we know that the nation of Edom, did they bless the Israelites? Did they bless Northern Kingdom when they got here? They killed off pretty much almost 100 million so-called Native Americans when they got here. The Southern Kingdom. So did they bless us? So how, according to the scriptures, how can they receive a blessing? Let's get 1 Corinthians 1 and 21. Let's get that. I started to bring out me a towel. I forgot to bring it out. It's sweating already. I'm sweating. First Corinthians chapter 1, verse 21. For after that is the wisdom of the power. The world by wisdom knew not the power. It pleased the power by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. Yeah, you gotta believe, man. So even if you go, oh, I got the law, I got the law, I'm going to be saved by the law. You still got to have faith in the law, that the law going to save you. So you got to have faith, man. Let's get Genesis 13 and 40, 13 and 14. Genesis 13 and 14. I'm just getting started. We're going to take our time. Ain't got to rush. I got nothing but time on my side. And the Lord, right? Because so Abraham not just he decided which way he gonna go as far as spreading out. So we get into the part where Israelites are spread it out all over the place, right? So Abraham, he decided which way he was gonna go, and then Lot with another direction. And the Lord said unto Abraham, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes and look from the place where thou art northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed, not seeds, because Abraham had many seeds, and to thy seed forever, to thy seed. We just read the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? To thy seed, right? Let's get let's go over here. Let's jump over here. But you got it, like we read earlier. Now I'm gonna keep going. Let me keep going. Let me keep flowing with this one. But you got to believe, man. So let's go. Romans chapter 11, verse 5. Even so then, at this present time also, there was a remnant according to the grace of the election of grace. And if by grace, then it's no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. Yeah, because if you under grace, but you saying I don't need grace, I got the law, and the law is going to save me, then you don't need grace no more, right? And if by grace, then is it no more of works? Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if be of works, then is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. What then Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest was blinded. Yeah, only the elect gonna get this right now, man. And the scriptures say that the elect is blinded, man. So who are you to say that I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna wake up the whole nation of Israel? When it says right here that let's keep reading. 8. According as it is written, power have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David say, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back all way. Yeah. So the Lord got them blind, and the Lord also said, David also put up a curse or a prayer to make sure they stay blinded all way. So how you gonna fix that? How you gonna fix that, man? Yeah, man. I think this might be the warmest day all year so far. Let's keep getting it though. Let's go back to Galatians chapter 3, verse 10. Watch, see? Watch this. Galatians 3:10. For as many as are of works of the law are under the curse, for it is written, cursed is everyone that continueth not in all things which are written in the book of law to do them. But, listen to this, but that no man is justified by the law in the sight of power, it is evident, for they shall live by faith. Huh? The law, I got the law. GMS is a faith-based group. We got the law, statutes, and commandments. Galatians chapter 3, verse 11. But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of the power. It is evident, for the just shall live by faith. And the law is not of faith, but the man that doeth them shall live in them. Yeah. So if you saying that the law is going to be what save you, then the law going to have to save you at the end. And you can't keep all the laws correct. And if you miss one, you miss them all. Let's go. Let's keep reading. 13. Hamashiach hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone that hangeth on the tree. See? So yeah, so if you got the law, and the law is going to be what saved you, then why was Yahushua crucified? Old Testament heads would say that's why we don't believe in Yahushua. 14, that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Yahushua Hamashiach, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. Now Gentiles, right? Oh, let's go to Gentiles. Let's get this. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1. First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant, right? About spirit, we just read about the spiritual gift of the sacrifice Yahushua just made for us, right? And you're not going to be saved just by the law, right? Okay. 12 and 2, this is the point. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. Yeah. So we was Gentiles carried away into these dumb idols. Just like now. You got, even going back to last week, man. The guy out here last week trying to tell me that the scriptures and the name Jesus is the correct name. When all you got to do is just Google that right there. Just Google. And that'll get you to, if you Google and you see where Tino Chertesino, or whatever the hell his name is, created the letter J in 1524, then if you got half a brain, you would go, well, if the letter J was invented then, and his name not Jesus, you're going to have to try to find what the real name is, right? If you really believe and your brain is working, you would be searching for the real name. Not my people, though. But that's the point, though. The point is, 1 Corinthians 12 and 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto the dumb idols, even as ye were led, right? So when you see Gentiles, Israelites was Gentiles, man. Matter of fact, let's get some of that. Let's go 1 Maccabees chapter 2. I always go to 1 to prove that point, but let's go to 2. 1 Maccabees chapter 2. Let's see where I start. Let's start at 7 and we're going to jump down a couple. We're going to read some in here. First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 7. He said, woe is me, wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there when I was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers, right? 10, right? What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? We just read that. You was led away. You was Gentiles led away by the captives, by the other nations. So all of the nations that we was led away into, we end up following their customs, right? And they ended up destroying our customs, right? Or 11, all her ornaments are taken away, see? Of a free woman, she is become a bond slave. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it. So now in that situation, it's talking about the Gentiles of the other nations, right? Let's go down. Let's go down 20, right? First Maccabees 2 and 20. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our father. So even though it was other Israelites that was following after the customs, they say that all the Israelites didn't believe, all of the Israelites did it, no, it wasn't. It was always some, the elect was here from the beginning of time. But it was always Israelites that was like, nah, we not going to follow the laws and the customs of the other nations, right? So First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 20. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. Yahweh forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, neither on the right hand or the left. Now when they had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Molden, according to the king's commandments. See? So it was always some Israelites that was like, nah, we not going for it. We gonna die. We gonna follow the laws, statute, commandments that our fathers had. And it was some Israelites that was going after the ordinances that the king placed for us, right? Which thing when Matthias said he was inflamed with zeal and his reins trembled, neither could he forbear to show his anger according to the judgment, wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. Yeah, because you had an Israelite saying that he gonna come here and he gonna sacrifice to other gods in the temple. And so you had other Israelites that wasn't going for it. Let's keep going. Like I said, we're going to jump around a little bit. 27. And Matthias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there. So they left the city, man. They like, yo, man, we getting out of here, man. We gonna get away from these heads. Kind of similar to what the Northern Kingdom did after they went into captivity in Assyria. Let's get that, matter of fact, let's get that. This is 2nd Esdras 13 and 40. Let's get that, right? Yeah, 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Oshea the king, whom Salmanasseh, king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came them into another land. So this was northern kingdom was going off, and they got taken away. And we're going to get that in the match up with that in 2 Kings, the 17th chapter, right? So they went into captivity, they got carried away, right? But here's the point, watch this. But they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. See? So this matching up with what we just read in 2 Maccabees, man. The northern kingdom was like, yo, we gonna get away and go to a land that we never knew so we can keep our laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? So now let's go back to 2 Maccabees. Watch. 2. I think I was around 20. Yeah, let's 28, 27. And Matthias cried throughout the city. And Matthias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountain, going 5 miles a damn hour, making all that fucking noise. Fucking niggas, man. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all they had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there. Both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because afflictions increased sore upon them. So you had Israelites that left all they had and went into the mountains to get away so they could keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But a dude like Vocab Malone to try to say that replacement theology or supersessionism happened because the Lord replaced all of Israel because all of Israel forsook the laws. That's not what happened, and we read it right here clearly, right? Now, when it was told the king's servants and a host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David that certain men who had broken the king's commandments were gone down into the secret place in the wilderness, they pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, they encamped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day. See? So you had some Israelites that was like, yo, we gonna do what the king say, and we gonna hearken to his law, the new rules that he came up. We gonna go and do sacrifices to these new gods in the temple. Matthias killed one of them. Matthias killed one of them, and when Matthias slew this Israelite that went in the temple to try to sacrifice unto the new gods, then he went into the mountains. He went into the mountains to get away. And the king sent people after him to run down on him, make war with them on the Sabbath day. Right? 38. Oh, it's this nigga. Get out of here with that shit. Nigga driving around in circles with that dumb shit. Fucking demons, man. And you know how you know it's demons? Because when you see the elders You see other men and brothers bringing out the truth. The same thing happened with them, man. That's the demons, man. It's the demons on these niggas, man. The same exact thing. I'm watching the apostles when they was live last week, watching the other men, they bringing out the truth. Gabar Dama up there, he bring Amawada Bar, he bringing out the truth, the train, making all the noise. It's the demons on these people. 2 Maccabees 2:38. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people. Now when Matthias and his friends understood thereof, they mourned for them right sore. See? So it was Israelites that was put to death for following the law, statutes, and commandments. So to say that all Israel turned away from the laws and turned away from the truth, that's a lie right there. Let's go down. Let's keep reading a couple more. 46. And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly, right? And they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hand of the kings, neither suffered they the sinner to try it. Now when the time drew near that Matthias should die, he said unto his sons, now have pride and rebuke gotten strengthened, and the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the Lord, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. See? So you always had Israelites, just like now. You have some Israelites that would rather kill the prophets. Listen to the commandments of the kings. Listen to the commandments of Babylon. We'll march out here for you got to even be careful talking about the Roe v. Wade situation now. You know what I'm saying? YouTube said they gonna crack down on you if you even say something about that situation. So you have Israelites out here marching for the right to do that. The same situation where they'll say, well, the Constitution out-trumped the Bible. Let's keep going. 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation and was imputed unto him for righteousness? Joseph in the time of distress kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt. Pharisee, our father, is being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of the everlasting priesthood. Yahushua, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Yeah. So it's showing you that through the years, no matter what was going on, it was Israelite men that stood up, that believed, that kept the law, statutes, and the commandments, man. That didn't shy away from the belief of their fathers, man. 60. Daniel, for his innocence, was delivered from the mouth of the lions. 64. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in behalf of the Lord, for by it shall ye obtain glory. Yeah, man. 68. Recompense fully the heathen and take heed to the commandments of the Lord. So this is in the Maccabees, man. And Maccabees is history. Maccabees it lines up with secular history, man. Let's keep getting it. Let's go back to Romans 3:20. Let's get that. So the laws was only given to us, and it was always Israelites. That's what we done established so far. It was always Israelites that kept the laws, man, that followed the customs of their fathers. Yes, and it was always some Israelites that followed by the heathen customs. Just like you have these niggas nowadays running around getting branded, calling themselves Greeks. Romans chapter 3, verse 20. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. The law, statutes, and commandments. The law, statutes, and commandments. You need faith too, though, man. Romans chapter 3, verse 20. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. That's why you rehearse the righteous acts. Judges chapter 5, verse 20. Judges chapter 5, verse 11. For by the law is the knowledge of sin, but now the righteousness of the power without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets, even the righteousness of power which is by faith of Yahushua Hamashiach unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of the power. Romans chapter 3, verse 23. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of power, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is of Hamashiach, Yahushua Hamashiach. See? So you got to have the law and you got to have faith. Let me just make sure I'm still recording. Last week I had a situation. Camera stopped recording. Okay, we still good. Yeah. So we going at it in layers now. So we done established in the beginning and the end that the covenant is with the Israelites. Exodus, and then we went to Revelation. From Exodus to Revelation, man, we done seen that the covenant is with the Israelites, right? The 12 tribes, the 12 gates, right? In between, we done established you gotta have faith, you gotta have the law, and you see that it was always Israelites that went after the customs, or we gave you an instance of Israelites going after the customs, and we gave you Israelites that was put to death for following the customs, right? All right. Just making sure we keeping up with where we at, right? Let's go Genesis 25 and 5. Let's get there. Genesis 25 and 5. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac, right? The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac, but unto the son. What's going on, brother? Yes, I am, brother. What's going on? You know you're Israelite? All right. What tribe? You know what tribe? No, matter of fact, do you know the names of the Lord and his son? There you go. Yahweh is the Lord's name. He is, or he exists, he to be, and Yahweh Shah. Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. Yes, sir. You're the tribe of Israel. 12 tribes of Israel. The scriptures is only given to us, man. That's why we went through everything we went through here in America. Slavery, Native Americans killed off, put on reservations, oppressed. You know, the spirit give you all of this. The Lord get an increase, man.
But that's yours.
Yes, sir.
You look good in it with your white. You look good in it with your white.
And it's all gonna disappear shortly though. This place gonna disappear with dirt. Let me ask you this. Did you take the juice? You took that? Okay. How did it work for you? It worked?
I had that this summer.
Okay.
And so you can have $40 or whatever you can spend, whatever God can put on your heart. I'm trying to get Why did you ask me about that shot?
Hmm?
Why did you ask me about that shot?
Because you're an Israelite. You're an Israelite. I gotta see, see what you got going on in you.
Whatever you put on your heart. Whatever God put on your heart.
I got you.
Thank you. Whatever God put on your heart.
Hot dogs is 3. Let me see. I might have some more change, man.
I heard you witnessing, man. You're a strong believer of the faith.
I got $1 in check.
Them hot dogs, $3 over there. Down a half.
I got another $1. And remember now, the names of the Father and the Son, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. All right? I sure do. Yeah, I'm out here recording every Saturday. I'll be out. Lessons up, and this lesson will be up there today as soon as I finish. All right, Doc, you know the name of the Father and the Son? Okay, my man. Okay. I had a couple Salaki about that, Israel. I had a couple. They came up, they asked for my YouTube channel. They said they know the name of the Father and the Son. They asked for my YouTube channel, and they so yeah, that's a blessing right there. See, stuff like that, I don't need a lot out here, man. Cause I know everybody not gonna get this truth. Everybody not meant to get this truth. Or whatever the case may be. But so every now and then I have somebody come up and acknowledge that, hey, yo, we know what's going on. Let me get your channel, or I know the names of the Father and the Son, or whatever the case may be. That's all I need, man. I don't need 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers. I don't need 10,000 views. If I get one person saying, yo, I get it, brother. Let's get back to the lesson. Where was we at? So Genesis, let's get Romans chapter 9. Let's go to Romans 9. Right? Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach. I lie not. My conscience also bear me witness in the Ruach Kodesh that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenant, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, the Mashiach came, over who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever, amen, right? So the next one, 6. Not as though the word of the power have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel, right? So that'll go back to 2 Maccabees, where you had some Israelites that went after the king's ordinances and wanted to sacrifice sacrifice to other gods in the temple, right? 7, right? Neither because they are of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. See? That's the important part right there. See, they're trying to say, oh, 6 is saying that they not all Israelites that's Israelites, right? But it says right here in the next thing, and then you got to disregard the first 5 verses to say that according to the kinsman, according to the flesh, according to Exodus 24th chapter, that or Revelation the 21st chapter, that clearly state for the 12 tribes of Israel, you got to throw all of these type of scriptures out to try to say that, oh, this one, oh, 6, Romans 9 and 6 say that others could get in. Well, how you going to do that? But then the next verse right after it say, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh. That is, they which are the children of the flesh. These are not the children of the power, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For the seed, man. The seed, man. It's an easy thing to grasp, man. It's an easy thing to grasp, man. It's an easy thing to grasp. But if you're not trying to see it, or if you've been blinded, or you puffed up in your pride, your understanding of the scriptures through the Christian glasses, if you're trying to look at this truth through the Christian glasses, you're not going to get it. Let's go Galatians 3 and 16. Let's go 15. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant. Yet, if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or addeth unto. That just erased supersessionism right there. Because men got together and said, forget all the scriptures and how it reads, how the Bible breaks it down, and we're going to say that Israel is changed to the whole world, or the body of believers. And it don't say that in there nowhere where Israel was cast off, man. Galatians 3 and 15. Brethren, I speak after the manner of them, manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or addeth thereto. Now to Abraham and his seed, not seeds multiple, now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds. Wow. It's saying it right there. Galatians chapter 3 verse 16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed which is Hamashiach. See? Right there. We can close the book right there. We can shut the lesson down right there. Wow, I love that one. I'm gonna have to bookmark that one. I gotta bookmark that one. Let's read that one more time for the slow people following vocab alone. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed which is Hamashiach. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before of the power in Hamashiach, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul, that it should make the promise of none effect. For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more of promise, but power gave it to Abraham by promise. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Clearly, Galatians 3:16, he said to the seed and not to seeds. Well, I don't know what they talk about. What Bible, in the words of Apostle Ramla, what Bible are they reading? What Bible are they reading, man? Oh, here you go. Let's get 2 Kings 9 and 17 and 9. Now we gonna read. We read where some Israelites was going after the ordinance of the king, because the king set it up and said, "Yo, y'all could do this now, this and this and that. Do away with y'all laws and all of this and this and that, right?" So now let's read this one. 2 Kings 17 and start around 9. Now watch this. Gotta go up that far. Let's go 2 Kings 17 and 14. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in the Lord their power, and they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimony which he made against them, and they followed vanity and became vain, going after the other nations, right? We were led away, we were the Gentiles, right? And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them, and they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, one concerning whom the Lord had changed them, that they should not do like I charged them. Whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them. That line up with 2 Maccabee, and that line up with 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2, right? You were Gentiles. So we start following the customs of these other nations that the Lord told us not to follow after, right? So again, you have Israelites that was, and you had Israelites that wasn't, right? And they left all the commandments of the Lord their power, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a drove, and worship all the hosts of heaven, and serve Baal. Now, remember we read 2 Esdras, the 13th chapter, around the 40th verse. This is what led to Northern Kingdom getting taken away captive, right? This lines up with that right there, right? And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire. They still doing that now. And use divination and enchantments. They still spiritual right now. I'm spiritual and stuff. I got my altar. I'm praying to the ancestors, and I'm praying to the saints. And sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. Nothing new under the sun. The thing that you say is new done happened in the past, right? Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. Also Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of the spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight. Let's get where is that? Now let's keep reading. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Lord, and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, and he had said by all his servants the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land into Assyria until this day. And the king, here go the part though, watch this now, right? So we done seen that some of the heads, the kings was going off, the kingdom got split, Jeroboam had built the two calves and all of this. So Israel started going after the images and after the going after these new gods and the molten images, right? Okay, right? Head with a big red afro looking at me all crazy. Look, she got a big ass red afro and looking at me like I'm crazy. But here you go, let's go 24, 2 Kings 17 and 24. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cuthra, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sephram, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel, and they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. So after the Lord drove Israel out, the king set up, and he used the king of Assyria to drive them out, to take them away captive. So when he took Israel away captive, he gathered people from other regions, and he brought them there, and he put them in the houses where Israel was at, right? Okay, now so we understand where we at. And so it was the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not the Lord. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Therefore they spake. Even right there you can see the way the Lord dealt with the two nations. Israel went off, and he got the king to take them away captive into slavery. The people that came there to replace Israel and wasn't following Lord's statutes, commandments, he just sent lions in there to kill them. See the difference? Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom he brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let them teach them the manner of the power of the land. See? So it wasn't the Lord that said, said to a priest, hey, go in there and teach the heathen the Lord's statutes and commandments. It was the king. The king that took Israel into captivity. He gathered up the people to replace Israel after he took them into captivity. He said to the one priest, go in there and show them how to live according to the laws of this land, right? So right there you have another group of people that was shown by Israelite priests the laws of the land. So now you have the heathen following the customs. There go right there, right? Let's go over to Ephesians 2 and 1. Let's get the agreement was only with the Israelites. Was it some Israelites that said, yeah, we not gonna follow the customs of our fathers? Yep. Was it some Israelites that was put to death that always followed definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, because the elect has always been the elect. Was sealed from before I formed thee in the womb, I knew thee. Right? Was it heathens that took up the customs of the Israelites? Yeah, it was. Do that make them Israelites? No, it don't. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1. And you have he quickened who were dead in trespass and sins, wherein, and you know, just thinking about it, man, you see the brother that came up on the bike, you know what I mean? He knew the name Yahweh. Yahweh Shai, he didn't seem like he was familiar with that name. I'll put it that way, right? You know, he riding around, you know what I'm saying, he seemed lost, but he put his faith in that Jabberino. Yeah, I took the jab. I ain't get no symptoms, this and this and that. Our people, man. We lost here in Babylon, man. We really don't know who our enemy is, man. Ephesians 2:1. And you have he quickened, who were dead in trespass and sin, wherein in times past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past in the lust of the flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh, of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother. But the power who is rich in mercy, for his great love, wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sin, have quickened us together with Hamashiach. By grace ye are saved, not by the law. By grace ye are saved, and have raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Yahushua Hamashiach, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace in his kindness towards us through Yahushua Hamashiach. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the power, not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Yahushua Hamashiach, unto good works, which power hath before ordained that we should walk in them. Wherefore remember, see, here go another one. Wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision, by that which is called the circumcision, is the flesh made by hands. Yeah. So in times past we was uncircumcised. And not in a physical sense of the circumcision, in the sense of our heart, man. Going after the laws of this land, the laws of this nation, following Islam, following this, following that. This is what we was doing, man, all of us, man. That at the time ye were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel. Yeah, I didn't know I was an Israelite. I didn't know I was an Israelite. That at that time ye were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenant of promise. So when you see strangers, this is talking about the Israelites. When you see Gentiles, and as pertain to the covenant and the law, statutes, and commandments, it's talking about the Israelites. It's not talking about other nations, right? That at that time ye were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenant of promise, having no hope, and without Hamashiach in the world. Yeah, man. Colossians 2:16. Yeah, my people's out here, man. They ride by, they stare at you like you crazy. They stare at you like you crazy. Colossians chapter 2, verse 16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of a holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days. So yeah, so we were just reading how we was all strangers to Israel, right? To the covenant, right? So when you coming back and you first waking up, man, you gotta let a person fully grasp all of the things that's going on in the scripture, man. Because you gotta unbrainwash yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or you have to you gotta wash your brain from all of the things that you think is going on in the scriptures according to Christianity, man. So you gotta give them time. You can't be on where your fringe is at, brother. Where this at, brother? Why you not doing this, brother? And you gotta let them work themselves up, man, to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. They can't grow their beard overnight, but you stop shaving your beard and it will grow. Your beard will grow in time. Maybe you smoking. It take a minute for you to break the smoking habit. Pray, fast, repent. Yeah, I was smoking. I had to stop. You know what I mean? I used to shave my face bald all the time. Had to stop. But you can't, if you in the truth, you can't put everything on them and be all harsh on them as far as judging them and all of this. It's not fair to them, man. Just like it wouldn't have been fair to you when you didn't know what was going on in the scriptures. Let's keep getting it. Let's go. Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Yeah. So you in the congregation of the dead, man, when you wandering out here and you don't know what's going on in the scriptures, man. You in the congregation of the dead, man. I can't tell if she was driving by recording me. She was driving by with her phone like this, not speaking. So I don't know if she was driving by recording me or if she was driving by on the phone talking or looking at her phone. But it looked like she was driving by recording me, man. She made a whole circle to come over here by me just to keep, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but you know, what you gonna do, man? Spirits is on people do what they do. Let's get Psalms chapter 50 and 5. Let's get that. Yeah, the promise is for Israel, man. Psalms 50 and 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. That go back to Moses in Exodus the 24th chapter.
Israel, man.
What's going on, brother?
Israel, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You heard him? You heard him? Israel Yahushai. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
my
sir.
man. Okay. We getting better results than last week. You know what I mean? That demon came out here last week. You heard him? Israel Yahushai. And the heavens shall declare. Let's read this again. Psalms chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice, and the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for power is judge himself. Selah. Hear, O my people, I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against thee. I am power, even thy power. See? My people Israel. Not my people Israel and everybody that believes, or Israel and the followers that vocab could convince to believe. That's not what the scriptures say, man. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Let's get that. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And that was our northern kingdom. That was an Issacharite brother that stopped by and said that. That said Israel and Yahushua. That was a northern kingdom brother that said that, man. All praises Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Told you look, it's funny, last week, no clouds. It's more cloudier this week than it was last week. No clouds. And when I brought out that scripture, fear thee not, saith the Lord power, and off in the distance I saw the lightning bolt. And then it boom and thunder. That was the only time it did it. They ain't do it no more after that. This week I got signs, you know, this brother, he seemed like he know what's going on. The brother and the sister over there that pulled up, asked for my YouTube page, they seem to know what's going on. So our people are waking up, man. And once the elect is sealed, man, the Lord gonna remove his men off the streets, man. The Lord gonna remove us. You're not gonna be able to get access to the men of the Lord. You're not gonna be able to get these lessons all easily like you are now, like it is now, man. 7, Deuteronomy 7 and 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people, but because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he hath sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with the mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord thy power, he is power, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. 1,000 generations, man. And we read that we started off with what the covenant was in Exodus, the 24th chapter with Israel. Let's keep getting it. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Let's keep getting it. Let's keep getting it. Let's start at 5. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Yahweh by Yahushua HaMashiach. Yeah. So the tabernacle, let's get this one first before we go on. Let's get this one. Amos 9. Amos 9 and 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will